yo, I'm back. I'm not back. This is my first video, my first story time, first YouTube video. A lot of firsts going on here. And I just told a whole fire ass story like 30 minutes ago, but the microphone sounded horrible, so I was just like, couldn't believe it. And I tried to tell that story again, and I was like, bro, I just told a 30-minute story. Like, I can't tell that one again. You know, that wouldn't be good. It just didn't roll off the tongue right. So I'm gonna tell a different one. And today I'm gonna tell you a story about my first party, you could say. My first big part, my first like real party, I guess you could say. It was a hoot and a holler, shout out to Goblin. It was mayhem, crazy experience to be in, and I'm gonna jump right into it. Not gonna go too deep in the backgrounds for now, if y'all want to hear more stories after this one, I can go way deeper and just tell y'all more about it. But so I'm with Pablo. We gonna give him the name Pablo. One of my best homies. Known him since early childhood. Been my best homie up to this day. And so I'm with Pablo, and Pablo lived basically on the water, basically on salt water, so like a canal system. And so we're fishing with actually I'm gonna bring y'all back a little further. So there was this girl, we're gonna name her Brianna. So Brianna had been messing with my other buddy, we're gonna call him Zeke. Brianna had been messing with my other buddy Zeke. And he actually ended up losing his V card to Brianna. It's crazy looking back at this, Pablo's a bit of a snake. He's a cool guy, but he's got some snake tendencies all wrapped up in him. And so Zeke had gotten with this girl Brianna, and she was about 2 years older. This story takes place about sophomore year of high school. So I think around freshman year of high school, Zeke ended up losing his V card to this Brianna chick. She was about a junior. And so that transpired, whatever. Zeke ended up, things didn't work out, They had to split. And so I'm out. So, I started hearing some things here and there that about a year later, maybe 6 months later, I don't know. This might have been summer going into sophomore year. Maybe sophomore year. I was driving. So yeah, this is like pretty much the end of sophomore year. Pablo starts telling me that he's been involved in some texting with Brianna, and I'm really not thinking much of it at the time. I'm thinking I didn't really have the concept of snakery in my mind yet. Maybe it's the programming, I didn't really care. And I don't think Zeke even cared. Like that, it's just different times back then. Different times. And so Pablo's telling me he's texting Brianna, and I'm like, man, alright, cool. And so one night we're out there fishing on the canals. I had this little John boat, we're out there, and he's telling me Brianna's throwing a banger. And I'm like, didn't even really know what to think at the time. I don't even think I consumed a naughty beverage at this point. We're gonna keep it PG on the channel, try not to get demonetized, things of that nature. And I don't believe I consumed a beverage at that point yet. So I was a rook, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, I don't even know. I'm a rookie, you know what I'm saying? Don't got, today is a different story, but yeah, so he's telling me that Brianna's throwing a party or whatever at her crib, and I give it some, bro, we should slide, you know what I'm saying? We should slide on that, you know what I'm saying? But in my head, I knew. I was like, yo, we're not actually going. Like, first, like, we got to sneak out. I'm sleeping at his crib. I don't want to get in trouble with his parents because, we're going to take my car because Pablo wasn't driving at this point. But Pablo's insistent that, like, we have to go. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, nah. I'm like, really not thinking we about to go. So, eventually, we're fishing for a couple more hours. It's starting to get late. It's like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. His mom's texting us around like 12, like, yo, y'all still fishing? Like, y'all good? And we're like, yeah, like, we're gonna be out here for a little longer. We're really on the fish. We had basically devised a plan that we're staying out here till till the coast is clear, till we have the green light. You know what I'm saying? You know, we're staying out here till we have the green light. So basically, we get back in from the water maybe like 1:30, 2 a.m. Like devious hours. And I don't even remember what we did for clothing. I think, oh yeah, we went in there and we changed. He gave me some stuff, and we went in there and we changed, did our thing, trying to be fresh. But I mean, I'm not even trying to be fresh at this point in my life. Like, I'm just trying to get to the function. You know what I'm saying? I had never been to a function. I've been to like one other function, but it don't even count. Like, at this point in my life, I'm just trying to get to the function. Sophomore year was a up and down year for me, looking back at it, things, the ladies, I was hit or miss, bro. I was like, I was Russell Westbrook, post Thunder. Like, you know what I'm saying? I could give you a triple double some nights, but other nights I wasn't really. But I'm just trying to get to the function. I know that most of the chicks here, there was college girls and like seniors in high school. Like, that was pretty much it back then. Like I knew, like, I was shooting in the dark. Like, I knew it was going to be a 40-footer. I had to hit something crazy, 60-yard field goal for me to get something. So I wasn't too worried about how I looked. I just wanted to be at the function and, intermingle and try to see what can go from there. So we get dressed or whatever, and, parents are out. We knew. As soon as we get in the car, we might have even put that thing in neutral, you know what I'm saying? Just to get it up out the driveway. Something devious. And we get in the car, and she lived like on the other side of town. Like a 30-minute drive. The whole drive, we're, checking the phone, turning it over, Because, you don't even want to see the text if it comes through. Because, his parents, it was raps. Like, it was raps. We were all going down with the shit. Like, even though I was his buddy, his parents were bringing my parents, and it was going down. Like, it just wasn't a good thing to be doing. And I knew that. So, we're checking the phone every 5 seconds. But eventually we get there. We arrive at the destination. And remember, Pablo's talking to this Brianna chick, so we're thinking this is going to be smooth sailing. So we get there, and it's just it's about 20 people. Big mansion house. About 20 people. We see Brianna. She says, "What's up?" And then we see another person we know. And yeah, so whatever. We see the other person we know. Dap him up. Good night. We gonna call him. I don't even know what to call this geezer. We gonna call him. We gonna call him Blake. I don't know. Whatever. We see Blake. So we tap up Brianna, see Blake, we just chilling. She's like, "Yo, y'all want a beverage?" And, I'm pretty sure I turned it down. Just wasn't my time yet, you know what I'm saying? It can't always be your time. It wasn't my time yet, but Pablo, he grabbed a beverage. I knew I was driving, so I was like, I had heard stories, my older brother, you know what I'm saying? He done hit a house before, dog. So that's what the beverage can do to you. And, so I just like, I curved the beverage. Whatever, I'm just intermingling or whatnot, and so we're chilling there for about an hour, but it's honestly like, looking back at it, it wasn't a rager or anything, it was just a get-together, people drinking beers and things like that. And so we're chilling there for like an hour, I want to say, and there's other people there, other dudes, older dudes in college, dudes in like their 20s, like it was weird. So whatever, so Brianna and Pablo, they end up going upstairs like an hour in. But keep in mind, it's late already. Like, we got to the function probably hours after everybody else. So we don't know if it was we don't really know the situation. We're on, like, we're coming into like Thanksgiving dinner, like people on the couch sleeping. Like, that's kind of the situation we walked into here. And so they go upstairs, and I'm talking to Blake, just chatting it up. Blake's like 19, a year out of high school, 2 years out of high school. I'm looking at him like he a grown dude. Like he got a mortgage to pay. That's what I'm thinking. Man, no one prepared me for life. I ain't even got no mortgage yet. But I'm talking to Blake or whatnot, and all of a sudden, like, some dudes come in through the front door, and they all had like football practice T-shirts on. Like, y'all probably know this, but like the football team will get like a workout T-shirt, and like they wear that thing religiously. You know what I'm saying? It's the only piece of merch they got in the gear drop. Like, that's all they got. High school football. That's all you get. You get one shirt and you wear it till the wheels fall off. So they come in all these beat up shirts, and it's just like a high school, and it's like a high school close by, but not in my city, but close by. And they like six of them come in, like six 250, five 250 plus dudes, and like one small skinny dude. And I knew the small skinny dude. I'm like, yo, I've seen this kid before. And he was actually buddies with another buddy of mine. I'm like, what the heck is this kid doing here? Like, I didn't know him, but I had seen him before at like another one of my friend's house. I know he fishes a lot. So I'm like, oh, all right, cool, whatever. But then, like, they instantly, like, migrate upstairs. And I'm like, oh, no. I didn't even think, oh, no, at this point. I did think, oh, no, because Blake looks at me and he's like, oh, that can't be good. And I looked at Blake. Guys, I'm a buck 25, a buck 30, skinny, 5'6", 5'7". Not much on me, you know. This was like, I had lost a lot of weight because I was chunky like 8th grade, a little bit of 9th grade, and I got really skinny going into like sophomore year and stuff. So remember, you know, Pablo's upstairs with Brianna, and Pablo has he just gets into trouble. He gets other people into trouble. He's a liar. Like, that's just the type of dude Pablo is. And so Blake looks at me and he's like, yo, this can't be good. And I instantly start thinking, oh my, what did Pablo get me into, man? Because this is the type of dude he is. And I'm like, man, what did he get me into? Because again, like I just said, I was not a big dude. And Blake looks, he goes, this can't be good. And Blake starts running upstairs. And then that's when I knew, that's probably it for your boy. Like, I really thought, like, I was going to just get pounded. Like, I can fight. Like, don't get me wrong. But there's not, you know, these are big dudes. Like, you know, given my weight class, you know, I got me versus the average walking citizen right now. You know, 5'9", 150, 160. I got me average citizen all day. But at this time, it was not. I was not thinking like that, and I was instantly like, ah, oh, geez. I start chatting up with like some chicks behind me, like, oh yeah, I wonder what's going on. You know what I'm saying? They're all looking at me like I've lost it. Like, they all know what's going on, because remember, we got here late. We had no clue what we were walking into. At least I didn't. Pablo might have. I had no clue. So I'm like, dang, like, what is going on? Whatever. The dude storms upstairs. I'm not even gonna give him a name. It don't really matter. He storms upstairs, cracks the door, just starts screaming. So, and then Blake runs up behind, like, gets in the middle of, like, because Pablo comes out poking his head through the door, like, you know, he's like, oh, I didn't know, bro, I didn't know. And then Blake's like breaking it up, and the other kid's like screaming, like, yo, that's my girl, dog. How you gonna get with my girl? Like, I know you. And Pablo, yeah, Pablo did know. We gonna give him a name. We won't call him. I don't even know. We can call him Nick. Pablo knew Nick, so it wasn't like it was some. They actually knew each other. I didn't know Nick, but Pablo knew Nick for a little minute now. They had fished together, but I didn't know Nick at all. But I had seen him before, like, once. And so Pablo and Nick are yelling at each other, and I'm like, man. And then he's got his 5'0" linemen from the high school with him, and they're like, yo, like, oh, we're gonna get this kid, blah blah blah. And I don't remember too much what happens after this, but whatever. Nick and the guys, they end up just storming out. Like, they end up just storming out. I don't even know why. I think it was because, and I do remember a little bit what happened. Pablo was really good friends with one of Nick's best friends. And Nick started saying, like, blah, 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 like, I'm going to tell this kid. And they kind of, like, you know, basically, like, they were both really close with this one kid, so they're like, all right, like, we're basically going to see who he picks, basically, like, because they were really good buddies, both of these kids. And So they were like, all right, basically see who he picks. Like, I'm not really tripping over the girl. Like, just know, like, you ain't coming around us no more, basically, type business. And I was like, dang, they walked out. Blake's up there, huffing and puffing. He loves it though. Like, this was he was built for this. Like, Blake was built for this type of stuff. So they end up like just coming out the room. Brianna's embarrassed. All her friends are embarrassed. Basically, everyone just like basically leaves at that point. Like, they leave the function. Now it's just me, Blake, Pablo, and Brianna, and it's like 4 a.m. and I'm just like, bro, get me home at this point. I mean, not really. I was kind of just chilling. Couldn't believe what just transpired. I didn't even know what was going on though. So I just kind of like was just a fly on the wall, hoping not to get beat up. It's basically what it was about. And so, and funny story, we actually go out. We go outside, like right when we're about to leave, whatever. Brianna's like embarrassed. She's like mad, basically, that she got caught. Kicks us out. It's me, Blake, and Pablo. 4 a.m. And Blake pulls out a fucking ciggy. Pulls out a ciggy, and I'm like, bro, I'm not touching that. But Pablo and Blake are, ripping the ciggy back and forth, just talking about, yo, like that was crazy. Like, did you not know she was with him? And Pablo's lying, like, oh, I had no clue. I had no clue. And then Blake's like, bro, you better hope they don't come back and get you. Like, I was here tonight, but I might not be here the next time, bro. Like, you're a little homie to me. Like, I've known you since freshman year. Like, Pablo had been graduated, but like he had known. And I mean, not Pablo. Blake had been graduated, but he had known Pablo for a little bit, and I had known Blake for a little bit. But Blake was like basically just dadding us, the sunning us, just telling us like, y'all are some retards. Like, what are y'all doing? Like, these kids are way older than you. I think Nick and Blake were about the same age, about 19. We were about 16. So that all transpired. They're ripping a ciggy. And I'm getting in the car after, making sure I don't smell like cigarettes and nothing like that. It's basically a story. Just drive home, put the car in park, sneak back in, and that's my first story time for y'all, man. Let me know if y'all want to hear some more.